Here at SFA All Access, we are always looking for exciting topics for students, and today is no exception. Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Join us for an exclusive look at the incredible opportunities and experiences waiting for you when you study abroad at Stephen F. Austin State University. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with two experts on studying abroad. Joining us is SFA Study Abroad Coordinator Inez Maxit and Katie Barker. As SFA student who recently returned from a semester abroad, we'll be taking a closer look at the exciting and life-changing experiences that await students who embark on an international adventure. If you're interested in travel, Inez Maxit is your lady. From Guyana to Rome, she can help you get there. How are you doing today, Inez?
Happy to be here.
Well, obviously, you're the study abroad coordinator. What are some of the challenges and benefits from students going there?
One of the challenges is the finding the right program. There are so many options at SFA that could be a little overwhelming if you rush it and if you don't start planning with enough time to look at all the options, contemplate the academic benefits, the cost, finances, the timing. So I think that is a good and a bad problem. I mean, bad because there are so many options, but good because there are those options.
Yeah, of course. And students that are struggling to pay, like you said, there's financial problems. How can they get around that?
Well, our office awards study abroad scholarships for all students studying abroad that have an overall GPA of 2.5. So that helps. And the amount of the scholarship changes every year, but it's between $500 to $800. The School of Honors also have very good scholarship for study abroad students. Those are competitive scholarships, but there is another options. And then financial aid. The financial aid office really tries to help students to get additional funding for study abroad, but the key there is planning. If you go to their office very close to departure, nothing will happen. So as early as you go, the more chances you have to get additional funding.
Gotcha. That's really cool. So I read in 2019, 2020, you used to be a paper, and then you moved to VIA, during the time COVID happened. So what were some of the problems during that COVID pandemic?
Well, first that we didn't have any students to try our new software. So we have the software in place, and it was just me submitting applications. So then the next run of students, it was rough because there were many things that we needed to adjust or change. So they were kind of our test. But I think that we are getting better and better. VIA is a phenomenal tool for us because it helps us to get in touch with the student immediately. As soon as they log in, I get a message saying that is someone interested in studying abroad. So I can reach out to the student and try to help immediately. And for the students, they have access to all the programs that are offered at SFA or through our partners. And they can search programs through the area of interest, the destination, the term, the type of program. It could be a study tour, it could be a faculty-led program, it could be an internship. So I think that as we get more used to this software, we will be able to take full advantage of it.
Gotcha. So it really helped just using that trial period to test the software.
Yes.
So what can any student go study abroad, or does it have to be a specific major, or just?
Really, anyone. Language is not a barrier, so our students can go to China and take classes in English. Again, the planning is important because if you don't have many electives, it may be more difficult for you, for example, to go to China because the classes that they offer in English may be limited to a history class or a language class. So you need to have that flexibility. The more you wait to go abroad, do it as a graduation present, the more difficult it will be for the student to find a program that works for them.
Gotcha. And kind of like you mentioned, the planning. So is there an application process you have to go through, and how does that work?
So our application is in VIA, and mainly the application is for our faculty-led programs. So for that, for the students interested in applying for a faculty-led program, they submit their application after reading all the program information in the program page. And then they need to contact the faculty leader for an interview. Once the faculty leader approves the participation, just making sure that the expectations are correct, that the student understands what they are going to do, and the academic part, then the student will get a notification that their application status have changed to approved. And we are giving the student a chance to confirm participation, because maybe between the time that the student was accepted till we change that application status, life has changed and other plans have happened. So the student has the chance to say, I'm sorry, I'm not changed my plans, I'm withdrawing, or I'm confirming, I committing to the program. And once they do that, they have access to all the required forms that they will have to submit at different times.
Gotcha. That's a really cool experience. So doing that study abroad, how does that help with their life after college, like their career plans?
Well, study abroad is an amazing experience, regardless if it's going to be just for 10 days, for a semester, or a year. And it requires a lot of planning. It's really an investment on time and effort that students can really put to work after they return home. So when students study abroad, they get all kinds of skills, from intercultural communication skills to handle stress, to making leadership decisions. They may not know that, but that's what happens. And there is a lot of learning in planning and budgeting, because that's what they have been doing to make that experience happen.
Yeah.
So,
and it was really nice getting to talk to you. It was really nice getting to learn more about study abroad. But it's time to take a quick break. But when we get back, we'll be talking to Katie Barker, a student who studied abroad in the Netherlands this past summer. We'll be getting insight into her life-changing experiences and the knowledge she has gained to stay with us to learn more. Welcome back to SFA All Access. We just chatted with Ines Maxit, the study abroad coordinator at SFA, and the many travel opportunities the campus offers. Now we are joined by Katie Barker, who has recently returned from studying abroad. She will be sharing stories, challenges, and transformative experiences she had while studying overseas. How are you doing today, Katie?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So what got you into study abroad to begin with?
Well, one of my professors in the forestry department advertised it really well. It was a faculty-led program, and I was in one of his classes, and he told us about all the meetings, and he told us about once a week about the trip, and he really, really wanted us to go because we were a fun class. Just him talking about it and how well it was advertised in the forestry building.
Okay, that's really cool in the forestry building, and just has your mentor. But you went to the Netherlands over the summer. Mm-hmm. What are some challenges, benefits? Just how was the trip overall?
It was a wonderful trip. I went with a great group of girls. It was all girls. There was no boys. Some of the challenges would probably be the lack of sleep and just how busy we were. We had activities planned from 6 a.m. to sometimes 9 o'clock at night. So dealing with that while jet lag was a big issue. But it was a wonderful experience, and we had a great time.
Yeah, of course. So going to a different country, you probably have to learn different languages, and the transportation is probably hard.
Yeah, there was a lot of public transportation because we went to 4 or 5 different cities, so we had to get Metro cards and learn how to use the bus. And a lot of the native people in the bigger cities didn't like the tourists, and it was a group of 20 of us with big suitcases, so that was an issue because if we missed the train, we were stuck there, so we had to deal with that.
It's definitely really challenging. What is your favorite souvenir you got there? Because I know going on vacation, you're gonna get something to remember the place.
My favorite souvenir I got was probably this tattoo. Me and my 3 friends that we went with, we all got matching tattoos, and the last city we stopped at of the tulip, which is the Netherlands national flower. So that's great. It's something I can keep with forever, and that I get to look at every day.
And what is the most important thing you learned going there?
I learned a lot about myself. I grew as a person a lot because I got to travel without adult supervision, and it was kind of the first time stepping out on my own. And I liked a lot of the history because there was a lot of World War II museums. We got to visit concentration camps and things like that.
Okay. Definitely a growing opportunity. As yourself, would you ever go back, just not necessarily study abroad, but on vacation to the Netherlands?
Oh, absolutely. It was a wonderful country. The people there are so nice. It was absolutely beautiful. I would 100% go back.
That's great to hear. So the people like coming in, the freshmen, like what would you say to those people trying to join study abroad?
I would tell them it's 100% worth it, how much it costs, and you gain a lot overall. And just pack more clothes than you think you need, and make sure to bring sunscreen.
Yeah, of course. And like, so the Netherlands is the only place you've been to study abroad, correct?
Yes.
So what was the hardest thing that you had to go through, like going there?
Well, in the Netherlands, their main form of transportation is the bicycle, and I didn't know how to ride a bike before I went. And one of the days, we rode 27 miles on a bike. So learning how to ride a bike when we got there, day of, when that was our only form of transportation, was probably the biggest thing I had to do.
Sheesh, that does sound like really tough, and like especially for those new students that are going to be like going through that, they're going to have a lot of challenges. What's the best thing you did? Like,
My favorite part was the food. The food over there was so great. They don't use as many preservatives. It's not as much processed food. So after you ate, you just felt good and energized and clean. It was also delicious. So that was my favorite part.
so is there like a difference between the food there? Like you just mentioned, like there's food, but like, is there a difference between like the U.S. and like the way they ordered anything?
Absolutely. The restaurants, they close in the middle of the day because it's Europe. They all like go home and take a break. There's like stricter times on when they're open. And also the food's it's a lot less expensive. It's a lot more affordable than it is over here, which I thought was really nice.
And you know, speaking with Inez earlier, she was talking about the planning of everything. So how did you plan for it, like packing, like just get prepared for your trip?
Well, I started packing about 4 days before just to make sure I had everything, and I got organizers to go inside my bag to make sure I kept up with everything, and I made sure to bring clothes for rainy weather, sunny weather, cold weather, because the temperature changed the entire time we were there because we were traveling all around the country.
Well, it was great getting to learn about your experience and how your trip to the Netherlands went. If you're interested in traveling abroad or learning more, you can contact Inez at maxitie@sfasu.edu or room 402 in the Douglas Liberal Arts North Building on campus. Make sure to join us next time for another episode of SFA All Access. I'm Chris Matthey. Have a great day, and as always, Axum.